morning, good morning.
Good
Hello, hello,
morning.
hello. Welcome to Coffee Chats Unfiltered.
Mm, mm,
Today I have regular coffee, no more cappuccino for this week.
mm.
But loving it still, loving it still. Hey, y'all, welcome to Coffee Chats Unfiltered. I am Cynthia Merritt, and I am here to bring some tips and tricks from my experience in life and talk about some urgent matters that are going on in the world, and just how we deal with those and things like that, just bringing people's attention to things. And so I like to be a voice, and I am here for encouragement, influence, and just enlightenment. And my co host.
Hello, I am Valerie Davis, and I am here to receive everything that Cynthia is stating, and also to let you know that I too have some tips and some advice that should be helpful. And I just want to say that I am 54. I was about to say 53, but I'm 54. I'm 54 and I've had some life experiences, some changes that happened and changes that are still happening. And I like to voice those things in our community because it may be helpful. And on the other end of that, there may be something helpful that you guys can give to myself as well as Cynthia. So we are here for it. And guess what? It is a new day. So a new day comes with new ventures.
I know that's right. Absolutely. A new day and new ventures for
Mhm.
everyone. So today, you
Mhm.
guys, we're talking about public opinion and how, because right now, public opinion is the most important thing we can have ever.
Mhm.
This at this point in time,
Yeah.
our public opinion means
Mhm.
absolutely everything.
Everything. Mhm.
It is actually the collective voice of the people coming together, which is something
Mhm.
we have got to do now. And I'm so excited to see how many people have decided to come together in this mission. And when it's an informed engagement, it becomes so powerful, you guys, that it shapes decisions, cultures, and everything that possible for the future. And so if you
Yeah.
look at government, Val, different governments
Hmm.
in different countries that
Right.
have fallen under dictatorships,
Yes.
how the only way they were broken was for the public to rise up and come together. The public
Hmm.
court, the public opinion court, is the most powerful court of ever, because no matter how, if someone is convicted, not convicted, but what is it when they suspect you of a crime or whatever, they arrest you of a crime, you have to go into a court. You go in front of a
Uh-huh.
court, and then either a jury or a judge is going to make a decision about how it's
Right.
going to
Right.
turn out for you. But more important than that court and that jury is public opinion. When
Yes.
public opinion makes a decision, that
Hmm.
weighs more heavily on the decision of the court, and it can collapse a government or anything, a company. It can collapse any. You see what happened with public opinion in Target. You
Yes.
see what happened with
Good
public
example.
opinion in Jimmy Kimmel.
Good
So,
example. Hmm.
yeah, public opinion is everything.
Hmm.
So let's just take a look at it. So, does public opinion actually matter anymore, or are we just being loud? So, there's real value, you guys, in the court of public opinion, and
Yep.
it's here it is without any fluff. So, it holds power and accountability. Public opinion keeps our leaders, our institutions, and our corporations in check. When people speak up through voting, through surveys, voting, no more sitting out. Nobody can sit these out anymore, because a
Right.
lot of y'all who set that out, you the reason we're where we are. So, and
Look
I'm
at
just
where we
gonna come out and
are.
say that. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You can't sit this out anymore. So voting, when people send surveys about corporations and about government, I get a lot of surveys about government. I don't usually answer all of them, but
Mhm.
yeah, we get flooded with those advocacy and then social pressures. Those
Right.
powers are forced to listen to our face to face consequences that we have every day, but silence gives permission for our opinion to create pressure. So you can't be silent. We have to
Mhm.
be loud about it and voice our opinions.
Exactly. And Cynthia, I do want to say something about that. When we are voicing our opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. It's how we voice the opinion. Control the opinion that you're voicing and do it in a diplomatic way. So that way they can't come back and say, oh, whoever has something um, very prominent to say, they won't say that they're doing it out of anger, they're doing it out of hate or disappointment. We're standing on what they say now. The young people say standing on business, but stand on business in the appropriate way. So voice your opinion, but just make sure that you're doing it in a manner that's justifiable.
Exactly, exactly. That is so well said. And just like the protest, there's
Mhm.
nothing nothing wrong with protesting. Actually, we need the protesting
Mhm.
for, people to get out in the street if they want to get their signs and get out there. The
Mhm.
key is, like you said, Val, doing it the right way, doing it with tact,
Mhm.
peaceful protesting,
Yes, yes.
peaceful protest, no violence, no nothing like that,
Mhm.
because that's not what we're looking for. That
Right.
doesn't speak volume.
Mhm.
Um, one of my daily affirmations is, this is an abundant universe and there is plenty for all of us. And that is so true, y'all. There's so much, and we're
It is.
seeing it because we're seeing a lot of the grifting that's going on with the government, and didn't realize there was this much money out there. Did you see how all the money, the
Mhm.
different countries, and they're just throwing money at the government over here, and for bribes and things like that,
Yeah.
or whatever they're doing. There's tons of money out here, y'all. This is an abundant universe, and there is
Mhm.
plenty. There's absolutely
Yes.
plenty, abundant amount for all of us. So
Mhm.
it's for all of us to enjoy. And with
Exactly.
all this happening in the global government at this moment, we are seeing the amount of money and the amount of corruption actually that's going on and has been going on in the world, y'all. You know what? I did not realize how corrupt the government was until I started watching House of Cards, and I on Netflix, and I had to binge that whole thing. I can't even remember how many seasons it was. But when I finished, well, I couldn't stop watching it because I was like, this is how the government is working. And I
Oh,
didn't realize how corrupt everything was and shaped around money, but it's interesting. But anyway, so it shapes our policies and our laws for sure. Many policies exist only because of public opinion, and it was pushed there because of what people think and what people need and people want. So if we voice our opinions, then it changes laws and changes things for us.
mhm.
So we can just look, we can just lift everything up and show how important things are, and not let things feel shameful or anything like that, but just let our voices be heard. Public opinion pushes those policies there. And y'all, that's how the civil rights movement got started, because
Mhm.
people said, not anymore.
Mhm.
This is not going to happen anymore. We're going to make change happen. And that's how things happen, and how
Right.
women got their place in the workplace, and all that kind of stuff. We said not anymore, and they were able to vote. Women in until the 1970s. I think that's when it started, when women could get a credit card and a checking account in their name without their husband.
Yes. Mhm.
Isn't that a shame?
It's a
I
shame.
mean,
That
it's
took a
like
long,
we can't even imagine. Yeah, and that's not that long ago, in
not
the
no.
1970s. And then they just got to the point, well, I said we just got to the point to where we have been able to have a credit card in our name, and a checking account in our name without our husband. And so,
That's
and that,
a little over 50 years ago, over what, 54
yeah,
or 53 years ago.
uh,
That's
your whole lifetime, your lifetime.
yes.
Yes, but me too, because because I was born in the '60s, but we our whole lifetime, that's all we've known is that we could get a credit card and a checking account in our name. But our
Mhm.
parents didn't know that.
Didn't know it, couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
We've come a long way.
Girl, we have, but see now that's why it's so important right now for our public opinion to come together and rise
Yes.
up to make changes
Mhm.
because we can't go back, y'all. We cannot go
That's,
back. So,
they're trying
anyways,
hard to send it back, but we got it. That's where that voice counts. It's
mhm,
what that vote counts. So that way we
absolutely.
don't go back. It's very important. The young people really need to understand and see it. Um, our age group need to stand strong and keep fighting. And individuals that are older than us need not to feel like, oh, okay, it's just a losing battle again.
Right.
So there's three different stages that needs to be on one accord.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All those generations, all the generations right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who wants to change the direction of the state of the nation cannot sit this primary election out. So let me just say that for this year, 2026, in November, this is the most important election. We said that in
Yes.
2024, but people didn't listen. But anyway, this one now literally it's the most, because if not, it's over.
Right.
So freedom, democracy, our democracy is over. So
Mm-hmm.
this time it's way, way, way too big. Um, we have to make it too big to rig because we know with the gerrymandering and everything that's going on, and now they raided the Fulton County elections department and got
Yeah.
all the voting information. So, and they're doing that in Minneapolis too. So yeah, so they're trying to rig it. So we have to stay together and make
Mm-hmm.
it too big for them to rig. And like you say all the time, Val, each one teach one. So
Yes, ma'am.
everybody needs to be spreading the word.
Yes, ma'am.
um, when you get together with your groups, your circles, your book club meetings, your family meetings, Sunday dinner, whatever, this topic needs to come up just to make sure everybody's aware that we need to be voicing our opinion. I don't necessarily say that everybody needs to be out in the street protesting because, I think some people do, but everybody doesn't. So there
Right.
are other ways you can make your voice heard, Val. Don't you
Yeah.
agree? Yeah.
I totally agree. You don't have to actually have to just, it's other than protesting. You can
Hmm.
you can do like you're saying, small gatherings at your home. Your family
Hmm.
friends, start with your closest ones, and that speaks volumes. And even at churches, churches are open what, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Sundays, some
Yeah.
Saturdays.
Yeah.
There's prime to always make mention of it. So there's different ways that we can get that out besides protesting. Some
Hmm.
people are meant to protest, and some people just can't handle it,
No.
and
And
that's
you don't
okay.
need to.
That's okay. That's right. That's true. That's, you find your strength in a different place, a different area to make your voice known. Yeah. I don't
Absolutely.
think I could be a protester. I don't think I'm a protester.
Yeah, I'm not I've done that in my younger days, when there were
Mm-hmm.
causes or whatever and in college and stuff. And but now
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even think about trying to get on the street protesting. But like you said, yeah, there are many other ways that we can do that so we can still make our voice known. And this is one. You and I talking about this right now, enlightening some people if they don't know, or and please feel free, you guys, to leave comments, ask any questions, anything, and give your opinions and things like that with the comment notes. So
And
public.
you know what, Cynthia?
Mhm,
One thing, I'm sorry, one thing here. You know how I'm sure that we all have these different chat threads in our phone,
mhm,
different chat groups, right? Some of them are for just fun, geeky, or whatever, and some of them
mhm,
are religious, and some are just family keeping up or whatever.
mhm.
Those same chat threads that you have, you can put this information in there. You can have this information, or you can create a chat thread that puts this
Right,
that displays what's going on.
right.
within America and what we can do, because some people probably don't know. Um,
Exactly.
People, like you always say, how to contact your congressman, how to
Mm-hmm.
contact Secretary of State, those things. So that type information in all those chats that you
Groups.
have, this
Mm-hmm.
type of information is a way this needs to be in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, sometime, they're gonna understand it, they're gonna see it, and then they're gonna start to feel the same way that you do. So now, as Cynthia mentioned, the polls in November, man, you just reached the plethora of people. Now they're gonna make sure that they're doing the right thing. So use
Absolutely.
every funnel that you have to funnel it through.
Absolutely. Thank you
Mm.
so much. So well said. And everyone that you reach out to, if you reach out to one person, they have influence over other people. They're in circles with other people, people that you don't know. Who do you know that I don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Pass the word on. So yeah,
Right.
that's awesome. And I get a email weekly from John Ossoff's staff, telling everything that he's doing to try to keep us, because his seat is up for reelection in November,
Right.
and we got to keep that
Right.
because they had said MTG is supposed to be going after that seat, but I don't know if she's going after that seat or trying to run for governor. We'll have to see. But anyway, I'm trying to make sure he stays in office. And I called him and told him I like what you're doing. I call him all the time, tell him when I'm mad or whatever. Anyway, so I'm like,
I
don't
love
you
it.
vote? No, keep the government shut down. Don't you do that. We need to get these ACA. I tell him on the voicemail. But anyway, so we need to do that. But with public opinion, the insights we get, they help government, education, organizations to understand where people are, and not just what's written with mission statements, but what they really
Right.
need to be doing. So it drives the social change, cultural shifts start in public
Yeah.
sentiments before they show up in the legislation and the boardrooms, y'all. So before all that comes public opinion, public sentiments. So that's what makes changes. And it's guiding business and innovation for sure. Companies really do pay attention. We get those surveys all the time for public
Mm-hmm.
opinion. They pay attention to what you feel about their product. How can they get better? It affects their brands, their trust, their loyalty, and their profit for sure. So consumer voices influence what the products are being designed to do, the ethical standards about them. And then, of course, they have to look at the corporate responsibilities too. So it just wasn't something that was just created. I love looking at those results for the Target Fast and Jimmy Kimmel because it's just so,
Yeah.
so important because it's too
Mm-hmm.
expensive for them not to pay attention to public pressure
Right.
when we create it.
Mm-hmm.
So it
I agree.
strengthens. Oh, it strengthens our democracy for sure. So in this case, if you don't know, we are in a democracy crisis at this point, you guys. So democracy without public opinion is just a system that's on paper. So the
Mm-hmm.
engagement of discussion, this is so important, and this is why we're talking about these little groups that you're in. Engagement of the discussions, debates. If have someone in the group that feels one way about what you guys are talking about, your topic of discussion, and you feel another way, healthy debate is awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
love when debate clubs were so popular back in high school and college. It was fun watching the
Mm-hmm.
different sides. And a lot of those people went on to become lawyers because they love debating so
Yeah.
much.
Uh-huh.
It's so healthy for us to show our difference of opinion. Dis yeah, disagreement and all the things, y'all.
Right.
That's what keeps this democratic system alive.
It
So,
does. And also
mhm.
showing your differences can then also have someone else look at what you're looking at from a different point of view instead of just
Mhm.
your own. And you can be so passionate about your own thoughts and your own thought process. Whereas when you're in that debate or listen or hear that other opinion, you're like, So,
Mhm.
so now you can look at things in a different way. So I
Mhm.
think that's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, and
On the
have that
debate.
paradigm shift, honey.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. So here's the part that people don't want to admit about public opinion. It can be dangerous when
Mhm.
it's uninformed and manipulable, if I can get that out, or manipulated, either one.
Right, right.
So, yeah, with experience comes responsibility. We
Mhm.
don't want to just repeat things that we hear. Do the research, y'all. Do your due diligence. When you hear something, if you feel like, I don't know enough about that,
Right.
before you go out and repeat it,
Hmm.
do some research and make
Yeah,
sure you're giving the correct facts, right, Val?
that's true. You got to research it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like that. Just going to bring this up. What's been on the news about Miss Guthrie?
Mm-hmm.
So I have not, I didn't know anything, still don't know, I haven't had the time to research it and talk about it. And when people are asking me my opinion, I don't have one. I don't know really what happened.
Right.
I have to take the time out to listen, to research it instead of listen to other people and what they're thinking is going on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Research, research, research before you open your mouth. As I always
Absolutely.
tell my kids, I don't breathe one word of anything if I don't know about it, or if I
Absolutely.
haven't, or if I don't have an experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do your
That is
research.
so true. That
Mm-hmm.
is so true. That is so true. So yeah, public opinion, it is a critical tool for groups
Mm-hmm.
to push back on injustice and exclusion. And the honest bottom line about that is public opinion is powerful only, guys, when it's informed and expressed and sustained.
Right.
So we know that uninformed information can be bad for us because we're passing on untruths or jaded truths. Some kind of so it's manipulated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is that public opinion isn't just for posting. Don't just post something to have a post for the day about what's trending or what people are talking about.
Huh?
It's for voting, mentoring, each one teach one,
That's true.
supporting, come to the group, let's learn together, let's talk about it, let's debate. Doesn't that just sound good that we're all included and we can talk about this, everybody can understand, we can debate
Mm-hmm.
about it. And for showing up, come to the group, come to the conversation, just be involved. So if your opinion is not moving you to action, you guys, it's just noise at that point. Our opinion becomes so powerful when it's paired with action.
Mm-hmm.
Action, 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 action. We got to execute the knowledge. So
Right.
public opinion still matters, but only when it's informed,
Mm-hmm.
it is institutional, and it's rooted in values. So
Mm-hmm.
once
Mm-hmm.
we have it that way, it's just if it's really otherwise. We don't want it to be noise. We want it to be
Right.
real opinion and something that's making a difference. Because, like we said, public opinion is the most valuable thing we have, the most valuable tool that we have right now to
That's,
make changes, if you will,
mm-hmm.
in what's going on. So, what
Mm-hmm.
say you, Val, on that?
I say that you are so accurate. Public opinion, public voice, public choice, right? So you got to be able to listen. You got to know what's going on, and you got to have a voice if you want to make a change. You got to be active, and you got to be proactive so that we can get the right reaction. Man, I should run for something. Mm.
I know. I know it. I tell you what, this whole scenario, what do I want to call it? This whole, I guess I'll say, situation that we're in has inspired so many of us to want to run for something just to help make a change
I
because we see
know.
how things are necessary. And I'm talking about at the local level because
Yes.
that's where it's
Yeah.
really important, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I was talking to someone yesterday. We was talking about how when you're renting properties, renting homes, and how expensive they are, and their requirements. And I heard someone say, well, who do we talk to about that? Do we talk to Secretary of State? Do we talk to the but those are things where at a local level where voices and opinions need to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
We all hear what they're saying. We all hear the reason why, but is it actual? Is it real?
Mm-hmm.
Can something be changed? So anything that touches you personally, it now becomes a topic of discussion. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
It now becomes an issue. And I can remember me being younger, and I was like, oh, if it doesn't bother me, so I don't have to think about it. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't thinking about that I'm going to grow older and these things are going to affect me. So just as I thought that at the age of 20, early 30s,
Mm-hmm.
our people now that are 28 in their 30s, they need to know their thoughts and decisions now will affect them. Not if it's not affecting them now, it will affect them later. So we got to think about all
Absolutely.
those things.
Absolutely.
Public housing, um, items for our senior citizens,
Mm-hmm.
the nursing homes, the it's just so much. So I think of those areas because those are important to me. And when I think about the public figures who can make changes in these areas, how can we vocalize these changes need to be made? What you just said, be present, be vocal, you have an opinion, talk about these topics because they are changing topics.
Absolutely.
So we have something to say, but before you say anything, do your research and make sure you're talking about the right thing and talking to the right people.
Absolutely. And, speaking of housing, well, two things about what you said. When you were young,
Mm-hmm.
when you thought, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. So you didn't think a whole lot about it. And not only that, with the age and the generational, disconnect for people because they're not there,
Mm-hmm.
it is also economic. So if you're not in a class or
Yeah.
an economic group, you make plenty of money.
Uh-huh.
You're the millionaire next door, or you just make a great salary. This economy is not
Right.
affecting you as much. Whereas you have people
Exactly.
out here who are in what was considered, if some people have lost their jobs, and I know many people who have,
Mm-hmm.
they have now fallen because they've been so far behind from the middle class to now upper lower class, and they're
Yes.
struggling to make it. And
Mm-hmm.
so the people at the top, who have the salaries or the millionaires, they're like, oh, well, it's not bothering me. So,
Right.
we don't need to be affected, so, but that's why we need to collectively come together as a group, as the society,
Right.
and make these changes. And then also, talking about the housing, there is and I do research on pretty much anything real estate related that comes up around me. Over
Mm-hmm.
here, right down the street from me in McDonough, they have built a new um, senior housing community, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for rent. It's not for purchase.
Okay. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful building. And I did go and tour
Mm-hmm.
it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to know about it so I could refer it to people.
Mm-hmm.
And the cost is interesting, and I'm interested to see it play out. I mean, they have
Mm-hmm.
different floor plans. It's a beautiful place, and now it's starting to be occupied. However, the costs are interesting. You have your rent.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is inclusive. You have your rent. They have little mini restaurants and a dining facility in the building,
Uh-huh.
so you
Mm-hmm.
can have all your meals there.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a little fitness room. They
Okay.
have an area for community.
Mm-hmm.
They have a hair salon.
Okay.
They have barbershop. They have things there to
Right.
accommodate you. And I
Mm-hmm.
was I was looking on the low scale. And the
Mm-hmm.
low scale I looked at for someone with a two-bedroom apartment, and a use of all the facilities there, the
Mm-hmm.
um the the amount was going to be $3,700 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for all inclusive lifestyle with no maintenance whatsoever.
Right.
However, many seniors cannot afford that. And so I would love to see something come on the scale of that where they could have, they don't need to have like the hair salon and the barbershop and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. But if they had a dining facility there and not
Hmm.
nice, apartment units
Hmm.
at a lower price
Right.
range. Yeah. So
That's
I
true.
would like to see, and probably housing and urban development would be a place that I would start. I would call them at HUD and find out who I need to speak with because I do need to recommend that because that's a great facility, but it's just not going to be for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. So
Mm.
anyway,
And I
but
will say this.
mhm.
I worked at one of those type facilities for a little while.
Mm,
What was for assistant living, um, I'm sorry, and
mhm,
senior living. And those prices that you talk, they had pretty much the same type things.
mhm.
And on the lower scale, like you're saying, like the 36 or whatever, the high end was like 52.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so I asked, depends on what you have, depending on the
Mhm.
type of apartment you have. Um, so I asked one of the residents, I'm like, this is really nice. Like, oh yes, kind of pricey. And I said, yeah, I said, evidently it's affordable because they have no apartments available. And she
Mhm.
said to me, a majority of the people there, their children are helping with their, yeah,
To
because
pay.
you're right.
Mhm.
From their income that they're getting, Social Security or disability or
Mhm.
whatever it
It's
is they
not
may
gonna
be
cut it.
receiving, it's not going to cut it. So a
Right.
lot of those individuals, family members, were paying for those facilities, are chipping in together. I was like, wow,
Mhm.
it's good if you have that. That's great.
Right.
But for those that don't have it, but
Right.
need that same type, should be able to have that
Right.
same type of luxury,
Right.
what do you
Right.
do?
Right.
So now that becomes to me is how and who allows it to be so expensive and let it be okay. There should be
Mhm.
like a bracket or something that you can, to keep it affordable
Mhm.
for people who do need things like that.
Right, right. And when I was talking to the lady, when I was doing my research, and I was talking to the
Mhm.
lady when I was going to my walkthrough, um, she said, of course, and this makes sense. She said you get your stream cable service or whatever it is, Wi-Fi, you get
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
utilities, your gas, your
Mhm.
power, all that stuff is included in that. And so you
Mhm.
don't have those utility bills. And I could see the value in it. I just
Right, right.
wish that there was and my wish, I guess I need to
Mhm.
enforce something or inquire about something so that I can
Mhm.
get involved and try to do some research to see where that could be something that would be economically
Right,
available to people with lower incomes.
right.
It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be
Mhm.
on such a luxurious scale, but just good
Right, right.
accommodation.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
so yeah. But all right, so that's it. So you guys, public opinion matters so much right now, more than anything. And we're just here to drop some information and make people aware. And if you guys would do the same thing in your circles, or if people have YouTube channels, hopefully everybody has a YouTube channel. And if you have circles, family threads like Val was just telling us about, all the groups, the book clubs, the hobby clubs, plant your gardening clubs, everything you do. Talk about this, y'all. Public opinion matters. Nobody can sit this one out, okay? Love you. Thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Val, do you have a word for us?
I just want to say to give yourself grace, love yourself immensely. No one can love you more than you can love yourself. Love yourself until you just can't love yourself no more, and then you can give that love out. That's why give yourself hugs and loves, affirmation, praises every single day because you matter. Don't forget, you matter.
Absolutely, we matter. Oh, thank you so much, Val.
Not a
Coffee
problem.
cups up on that one, honey. Y'all
Mm.
have a great day.
Have a great day.
Bye.